Y'all, I have to record this. Please forgive me. I don't have a seatbelt on, okay? Don't judge me and don't come for me. I have a message I need to get out to the world, and I need to let y'all know what the tea is. So, I've been going through this fast. I went on a fast about back in early May, right? Total lifestyle change. I went on this fast, and I have been going through it ever since I went on the fast. Like, all hell has broke loose in my life, and mainly in the area of my finances. I don't have a job right now. God was telling me to leave the job, and I was just like, no. And then it came to a point where I went back to the job, and then all of my systems was not working, right? I wanted to come to y'all in a more proper way, but I need to get this out right now. God, I just came from church, right? It's so funny. This morning I woke up, and I've been going through it. And you know, when the enemy is trying to, when God got something for you, the enemy is going to attack you. He's going to come and put that pressure on you. You ain't never felt no pressure till you felt the pressure of being a child of God and being attacked, trying to get jacked for your blessing, basically. Trying to get jacked for your freedom, trying to get jacked for your deliverance, trying to get jacked for your peace. He been trying to jack me. He been had me all hemmed up, okay? And y'all, the lesson today in church was joy, right? And I was like, here we go with this again. Last night, I woke up this morning and I was like, God, I'm over it. I can't take no more. I'm over. I'm done. Like, the pressure is too much. Please please stop this. Like, I asked him, please, I know we're in a process right now. I knew I was in a process. You know, I'm like, Lord, I said it out loud. I was like, God, I can't take no more. Like, I'm done with the process. I'm backing out. I want my old life back, you know? And then I talked to my dad. He was dropping jewels on me. And then I went to church, and the message was about the posture of joy, the process of joy, and the presence of joy. And it was so good. If you want to hear it, it's Elevation Life Church in Jacksonville, Florida. And you can listen to the sermon for today. Today is the 13th, June 13th. But y'all, God just spoke a word to me, and I don't know who this is for. This might be for somebody else that's going through a process, you know, where you like, God, I gave up. You know, you may have given certain things up. You may have gotten out of a relationship. You may have decided to take a leap of faith, and it's not going the way that you wanted it to go. Let me tell you something. God stands outside of time. And while he does care about our physical needs, our needs for money and to be able to get through to the next day, he's going to provide all that. But the reason for the fast, the reason for the change, the reason for the stretching, I forgot that I prayed for God to take things out of me. The spirit of rage, not being able to be steadfast, and, you know, my patience, jealousy, you know, looking around, always comparing myself to people around me that were, you know, not saved and were what it seems to be more prosperous than me. And I was mad about it. And God is, he's pulling all of that out of me. He just told me now when I was leaving the Dollar Tree, he was like, as much as I care about getting stuff to you, I'm more so worried about your soul. And listen to me. When you're going through a process with God, when you're in the midst of transition, you're going through spiritual surgery. You are being worked on. It's things that's being taken out of you. It's pain that's being taken out of you. Unforgiveness that's being taken out of you. Generational things that was deep rooted in you that's coming out of you. He's getting it out of you. He has to cut it, and it hurts. It hurts. You wonder, God, why am I going through this? What is all this pressure? And he is doing surgery on you, but he told me that the secret, the anesthesia to the surgery is joy. And joy in those moments of complete chaos, The joy is the presence of the Lord and being content just in his presence. Sometimes you may have to sit in his presence all day long. You may have to have your gospel playing in your ear while you're at work. You need it. And you need it constantly when you're in a state of transition. It is your anesthesia. So if it's hard for you, you're going through. I was angry, miserable, crying, just stricken with fear because I was looking at my circumstance. I'm like, God, why haven't you changed my circumstance? He said, I'm trying to change you. I got your circumstance. Don't you worry about your circumstance. I'm trying to do something even better than what you got planned anyway. But I need to change you. You asked me, and I did. I got down on that floor on my face, and I said, God, I don't want to be this person no more. This is not me. I became very bitter, very upset, very angry. I was lashing out at people because I was miserable inside. I'm looking around. I'm like, I'm trying to serve God, and I got these vices. I got these people around me who are trying to influence the way that I do things and trying to get me to pull away from my righteous upbringing, my righteous roots. What's deep down inside of me is my desire to serve God. And he pulled all my friends away. A lot of times when you're going through transition too, you got to go through it by yourself. Think about a cocoon. I ain't gonna make this long, but think about a cocoon. You ever seen 2 caterpillars in one cocoon? No. And do you know that when a caterpillar is in the cocoon, it turns to mush? It's just organs floating around. It has to dissolve. Imagine how painful that is for the caterpillar. But you can't come out too early because you're dissolved. So you have to stay until your wings get ready. And your wings, they have to harden. They have to develop. They have to create that webbing. And then when you come out the cocoon, you have to work yourself out of it. This is deep. Stay in the process. And I'm talking to myself. I feel like I'm talking to myself. But if you can relate to this, joy is your anesthesia. It's going to get you through this process. I was at the point now where I'm like, this morning, I was upset with God. I was like, I'm disappointed with you, God. I wasn't expecting you to break me down like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was upset, okay? And I didn't realize what was going on or what he was trying to do in me, what is actually taking place in this time of my life. I'm in a transition. I thought I was going through the wilderness. I was like, what did I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did I do? Usually when you're going through the wilderness, you look at it as a bad thing, but wilderness is that, I call it the hallway. You know, you might not be in the place, but you in the hallway. You right outside the door. You know what I'm saying? It's still wilderness, and it don't feel good. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going through it, and a lot of times when we're really close to breakthrough too, you start like losing everything. You start losing it, or it feels like it. I'm not going to say you are. It feels like you're losing everything. It feels like everything is going wrong. It feels like everything is breaking down. And you're just like, God, what happened? Like, what, you start trying to figure out yourself, like, what did I do? What did I do wrong? Like, where did I go wrong in this? It's not you. It's the transition. And we have to find joy in that. I love you so much, cousins. And sometimes I'm going to come on here as I feel like the Lord leads me to. I'm not a prophet or nothing like that. I just I feel like sometimes, like, certain mantles that God placed on our lives, or certain things that he tell us, like, you're going to be a prophet to the nations. You're going to preach the gospel. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You don't realize that you're going to go through. You're going to go through because you need to be the first partaker of that fruit. So you can't be like, I'm not just teaching this. I'm not just preaching this. I live this. I love you, cousins. Have a great day. Have a great Sunday. And remember, no matter what happens, your joy is supposed to be anchored in the Lord. And if you can't find joy, Well, the thing is, you can't find joy. Joy is developed. That's another thing that I learned today. Joy is developed. And you find it by constantly going back to the source of your joy to get more joy. Love you.